back.
Today we're talking about how to snipe with the M200 sniper in World War III, or the shade tack or intervention, since this classic sniper goes under many names. Hi, my name is Splish and I wanted to share my thoughts and experiences playing as a sniper in many FPS titles over the last 20 plus years. Every game has its own design and mechanics when it comes to sniping, although there are certain techniques and mindset that works across the board, and World War III is no exception. However, the M200 sniper differs quite some from the other two snipers in World War III, which are the G29 and the Technost, but that's also why I wanted to do this tutorial, you might call it, that hopefully can also give you some inspiration to try out this hard-hitting sniper as well. I usually play quite aggressive as a sniper, since through the years I've learned techniques such as quickscoping to take out enemies from a close to medium distance. That's not really how I started to snipe. No, it was as a scout sniper back in Battlefield Bad Company 2, learning how to shoot enemies from a distance, finding good spots on the map in order to not get spotted by the enemy. Those hours invested gave me the basics of sniping, which was beneficial since I then started to play sniper only in more fast-paced shooters like, for example, Call of Duty. At that point I was determined to take sniping to the next level by making my muscle memory understand how to center the target on my screen before taking the shot. By doing that over and over again through the years, I became more sufficient and consequent getting my kills. And over time I could do that even faster, meaning quickscoping. World War III has similarities with Battlefield, since it's also a military shooter with both the infantry and vehicles, and it's been played on maps that are quite large compared to more fast-paced arena shooters. So it's therefore possible for you to start a similar sniper journey in World War III as I did in Bad Company 2 back in the days. So why am I telling you all this? Well, it's because I believe that you need to learn how to walk before you can run. So if you take your time to understand your role and techniques being a scout sniper, you'll then have a good and solid platform and understanding to stand upon when expanding your arsenal when learning techniques such as quickscoping as well. The sniping in World War III can be quite fun and rewarding, and both the G29 and the Technost are pretty versatile and can be used both for long range, mid range and short range. However, you need to aim high, preferably to the head, to get those one-shot kills. That's not the case when it comes to the M200. This is basically a one-shot kill all over the body, but it comes with a huge trade-off, and that's an insanely slow ADS time, meaning aiming down sight. I believe it's around 2 seconds or something like that. I actually made a joke about it when I in-game wrote to another player that I started to scope in, but I was going to go away in order to get a cup of coffee and then come back and actually take the shot. Well, that's how it kind of feels, although I'm exaggerating, of course. So how to use this sniper then in World War III? I believe that paying attention to many of these clips in the video will show you that it is a good idea to take the shots with this gun when you are in cover or being able to move in and out from cover between the shots. That's a good technique overall that also works with faster ADS snipers as well. You'll also have to pre-aim a lot before peeking around a corner. If not, it is very often too late if the enemy already has spotted you. I talked about learning how to center your target earlier. This is a good chance to start doing that, although it will be almost in a slow-mo kind of movement due to the slow ADS. So in this case it means that I am trying to predict where the enemy will be when scoping in, especially if they are running or moving sideways away from me. I think there's some clips that shows exactly that. Because remember, there's no straight bolt option here or attachments as far as I know, which means that you have to unscope and scope in again between the shots. With a hard-hitting but slow sniper like the M200, it can sometimes be a good idea to move on to the side of the maps, meaning the outskirts, so to say, so that you can spot enemies that are moving mostly towards the mid of the map, decreasing also the risk that an enemy will show up behind you. Careless players won't take notice that they are being shot from the side, meaning from you instead of up front. Once again, it is important to predict the movement from the enemy from time to time in order to aim down sight in time with this gun to get the one-shot kill that this gun most likely will get you. Besides the actual movement when playing with the M200, being a bit extra cautious when moving from point A to B is Wise, it's also important to pay attention to the minimap in order to see where the enemy is going. I therefore think it's wise to equip some sort of UAV to your loadout. Another tip is to pay attention when parts of the enemy team is about to capture a point when playing tactical ops. I usually then head over towards that area, trying to find a good vantage point and simply wait until a majority of the enemy team players are moving out in order to go for the next objective. If you play your cards right, you might be able to take out a few enemies right there. In games like World War III, you'll find quite a lot of people peeking through windows, so pay attention to that. I've shot a lot of both red gun players and other snipers doing just that. A common mistake when people are aiming down sight through a window is that they are simply standing too close to the opening, which makes them so much easier to spot. So my tip to you, and it doesn't really matter if you're playing with a sniper or an assault rifle, is to step back a bit into the actual room, if it still lets you see the enemy you're looking for or aiming for. That will make you harder to spot, and sometimes the game design will be beneficial for you also, since it might be a bit darker a few steps away from the actual window due to shadows or less light. There's a lot of attachments options when it comes to customizing your guns overall in World War III, which is great. And you can of course have an additional sight or scope on the side of your M200 sniper if you want to switch between the two. Maybe even a red dot or holo sight if you want, but I usually recommend people to use and get used to play with regular sniper scopes, especially if you want to become better overall as a sniper, not only with the snipers in World War III, but in other FPS games as well. The main reason why the ADRESS time is so slow with the M200 in World War III is mostly due to a designer choice, I believe, not wanting people like me running around and quickscope major parts of the enemy team with this one-shot kill machine all the time. And I can understand that. But sometimes people talk about realistic sniping in video games, whatever that is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still just a video game, and if you want to play more realistic shooters, then Arma 3 is probably a better choice for you. With that said, I do think that the ADRESS time could be a bit faster, at least when it comes to the M200, or the possibility to use a straight bolt attachment in order to stay in the scope between the shots. So, is the M200 worth grinding for, or get from the shop in order to get those hard-hitting one-shot kills? I would say yes and no at the same time, since it really depends on what kind of player or a sniper you are. You can do well just unlocking the long barrel for the G29 sniper if you want to get at least close to the experience of long-range kills that you'll get with the M200. That will also save you both time and money. Personally, I have been having some fun playing with the M200, and I'll most likely continue to do that once in a while. But I like to get up close to where the action is, meaning playing aggressive. So for me, both the G29 sniper with the right attachments or the Technos sniper is a better option. Those snipers have a much faster ADRESS time by default, so for me that's the way to go. To be honest, the G29 and the Technos also takes a bit more skill to handle, especially if you're playing aggressive, since you need to aim high, preferably getting headshots. The M200, as mentioned in this video, requires a bit of a different mindset and strategy when being used compared to the other snipers. Sure, you're more likely to get one-shot kills with the M200, so I can understand that snipers that likes to sit back in the shadows for a majority of time will like the gun, definitely, or casual snipers doing the same. Since there's only 3 snipers so far in World War III and all these 3 snipers are bolt action snipers, maybe then it would have been a better choice to actually add, for example, a semi-automatic 50 cal Barrett sniper instead of another bolt action sniper. I'm referring to the M200. Let me know your overall thoughts in the comments. So with that said, it is time to say goodbye for now, and thanks for watching, and I hope you're gonna have a beautiful day. Later.